Good morning. I want to get on here and give you a quick update about something that came across my desk. If you guys can see this, please let me know. Comment. We need to get the word out, and so the reason we need to get the word out is we have a new, call to action. Right? There's things that we can do right now that are going to help better our position when it comes to the appeals process. And so what we're trying to work on now is now to kind of change gears and focus on the fundraising aspect of Measure 114. And so we all know that our tax dollars are being used, unfortunately by the state of Oregon to continue to push this garbage, which is Measure 114. But we also got to realize that we got to do our part, and we got to do our part by stepping in and stepping up and making sure that we can help fund the appeals process. And they're using Gibson Go, which is a good platform. It's a faith-based platform, so it's not like GoFundMe. It's legit, and so you guys can rest assured that that's a good way for you guys to get involved and be a part of this. And so it doesn't take much. Obviously, they have a goal with as many members that are in this group. A little bit will go a long ways if we all chip in. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to advocate here is for this to continue, for Tony to do the work that he's doing, for Tyler to help with all that. It takes money, and so that's why we're doing kind of a fundraising for this to make sure that they have the funding and the resources that they need to continue to fight on your behalf. And so, that I know, budgets are tight. I know everything is challenging with the economy. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, if we don't fund this stuff, we're going to lose, And so I want you guys just to kind of think about that. I know it's not easy to do, but if we can kind of change our thought process when it comes to how we engage in this process, we're going to be successful. And we all come together and we all pitch in 5, 10, $20. It's going to make a difference, and we're going to move that needle in a way that we need it to move. And so that's why I want to get on here and kind of talk about the fundraising. As I have more information, I'll put it out on what it looks like when it comes to how our funding's looking. I put it in one group. I'll probably add it to the other groups so you guys can chip in and help be a part of this. And this is not a pack. Okay, so there is a pack. This is going to be to help fund the litigation when it comes to the appeals. That's a good comment there, though. Matt is thinking, thinking big picture, right? So a lot of stuff, lobbying takes money. All this stuff takes money, and I think a lot of it comes down to we have to change our thought process, and a lot of times is, we give sparingly because we're conservative with the purchase that we make. And so, which is good, it means we have money in savings. But in this situation, we have to kind of loosen up a little bit and make sure that we help fund. And I know it's the last thing that all of us want to do. And so, the last thing we want to do is ask you for money, because that's not, but and especially for in this situation. But we have to look at all the work that's already been done on your behalf, and it's taken a considerable amount of resources, time, effort, energy, all of that's going into this. And so that's why where I'm reaching out for help and your help. And so make sure that you guys have been a part of this process every step of the way. And so this is just another chapter in this saga. And so the only way that we can continue to fund and be successful is it's going to take money. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the reality that we're living right now. And so we're not expecting, when I say we, I mean us as Oregon gun owners, and Tony's here. I say we as a collective group. It's not me speaking on behalf of anybody. I was given the information. I take the information. I give it to you in a way that I deliver my information. But when I say we, is I think all of us, we're in this together, right? We're all in the same boat. We're all rowing the same direction. and it takes resources to continue to do this, and so that's where, if we can kind of change our thought process, if we could, set aside money a little bit every month, where we could, give money to effective campaigns, effective organizations, all of this stuff. We can just change that process, instead of scripting and saving, but investing that money directly into the orgs that are doing the work. We're going to be better off because of it, and we don't. Then I say our side, we don't do very well at, fundraising, soliciting funds. We're not like the other side. The other side, as soon as something happens, they send out, mass emails. They fundraise off of the fallen, and they use that revenue to further restrict our rights. And so, for us to even this playing field, we have to get involved, and we have to make sure that we obviously we show up and vote. We understand what's going on with the legislation, and we do our part in vote, and we also help support whoever needs the help to further this fight. And so Tony sent me a text, say, hey, we had the fundraising ready, so I'm just getting this stuff out to you guys. I want to give you guys an update. This is where we're at. Measure 114 is going to go to the appeals process. Obviously, everything that I've seen the last couple days is the state of Oregon is meeting defeat when it comes to the way they presented that hearing last week. So we should celebrate that. Is It did not look good for them. The judge did a tremendous job, you know, understanding that his ruling was pretty much set in stone and it wasn't up for debate, and they lost. And so that was a good thing for us. And so, big shout out to Tony and all the work that he's done. And so I'm glad to help support. And that's what I'm here. I'm here to support, the lawsuit, and that's, we're going to give them another victory, or another loss, excuse me. And we're going to get victory, because of, when it comes to Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon Constitution, it's very, very clear that we have the right to keep and bear arms. And so, absolutely, right here. This is a great, Matt. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for bringing value to the conversation here. Is It's because we're not using technology the way the other side uses technology. Because I mean, we'll look at the demographics. Most of our gun owners they're getting older. They're going busy. They're busy going to work, and they're not as tech savvy as you've seen the last year and a half, where I've actually had to do videos to teach people how to, use the oldest system, when it comes to the Oregon legislature. So a lot of it is our priorities are different than the other side. The other side understands that they have to use fear, they have to use emotion, they have to use misinformation to better their position, right? Us on the other side, we're too busy, going to work, raising our families, taking care of our obligations, as opposed to, making memes. And that's what the other side does. And so that's where we have to understand, this is a information war. This is a culture war. This is one that, for us to be successful and us to continue to do what we do, it takes a change of our thought process. And so that's kind of where I'm getting it. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. And so that's kind of what I wanted to bring to your attention, is we have a call to action, we have a goal, and so now we have the opportunity that your money goes directly to this fight. This doesn't go to the NRA. This doesn't go to another organization that's not involved with the fight. This goes directly to the fight. Okay. And so the way I would preface this is, your money goes to the account, which helps pay for the paper, it helps pay for the ink, it helps to pay for the time, it helps pay for the fuel that gets over to Harney County when they go over there for their hearings. You know what I mean? So that, if you can break it down to a most basic level when it comes to funding your support, it goes directly to this fight. And that's a good thing, because all of your 100% of it stays here in Oregon. It doesn't go out of the state. It doesn't go to this big coffer that funds all of these lawsuits across the country. It goes and it stays here locally. And so that's the good thing, and one thing here, I get it. I totally get it. And so I think that's what's so important about this. I do. I'll put a link in here. Eric, I'll put a link in here. Give me 1 second. I'll get to your comment in just a second. Is you know, that's why this is really important about changing this mindset. If you do not have the time to show up in Salem, if you don't have time to write an email, if you don't have time to engage in any part of this process because of your schedule, because of work commitments, family commitments, we totally get it. You can do your part though by helping fund it. Okay, so really, to be honest, there's no excuse not to help with this fight, and so and I try to be respectful, but it's like, here is your opportunity. I can't make it any more clear for you. And so if we can all as a group, as 77,000 members in this group, if we could just do little bits and pieces, that's going to help add up to the goal that they're trying to reach. And so, that's kind of where I'm getting at is this is a call to action. This is a way for you to be directly involved with the fight. And this is a way to help you push back on the state of Oregon and get that victory that we need. And so, I totally understand it. And absolutely. And the whole it's we look at a pie, like a pie chart, right? We have 24 hours in a day. And so, over a third to maybe half of that is dedicated to work. You're going to have some of the, a third of it's going to be to sleep if you're lucky. And then you're going to have, family time, home time. You have chores. There's all this stuff that goes into this pie graph. And so I completely understand how they don't have everybody doesn't have the free time to do what we're doing right now. And I totally get it. And so, that's, it's just where, if you can't do it, if you could help with $10 to $20, that could be your contribution of time. And so that's kind of where I'm getting at. So I totally get it. Totally understand. And so links, yes, I will put the links to everything in both of these groups, and so you guys can give directly. You can track our progress. You can give prayers. You can be a part of this. This is a grassroots movement. Okay, this is something that we have to understand. And maybe we do some challenges, like, hey, it's Friday, it's payday. I'm gonna challenge the group to do, and I'm just using this as an example, but this might be a way to fundraise. Is, hey, I'm gonna use Matt as an example because he's been very, very good here in the comments. I'm Matt. I'm challenging the group to add $10 into the pot. And maybe if we can do something like that, we're going to go ahead and get this out and get the amount raised to where it needs to be, because ultimately it comes down to the other side. They are well funded. And so this is definitely, the whole mantra for this whole thing, this whole fight, has been David versus Goliath. And this is just another example of David versus Goliath. And so I'll put all the information in here. I'll make it as easy as I can for you guys. And the great thing about the Give Send Go is you can track the progress. It's all transparent. It's all there. And so this is a way for you to stick it to them, and do it in a way that it's going to help. And yeah, absolutely. That's what we could do is we could figure out a way, and maybe I'll work with them when it comes to imagery and messaging and stuff like that. Maybe I'll offer my services to help make this where it's more well received, and I can totally help with that. And that's what I'll offer to them, and right here, nickels and dimes add up. That's the one thing that's really important about this stuff it just takes us changing our minds and our thought process, where if we can earmark, let's say, $20 a month or $50 a month. I'm not going to speak for your budget because I don't know your budget. I know my budget. But if you could just think about, instead of buying those two cups of coffee a week, or 4 or 5 cups of coffee a month, if you could just think about, well, I'll make my coffee at home, and then I'll take that money that I was going to spend on that cup of coffee, and I'll put it towards this fight, because this is a generational fight. If we do not hold this line, if we do not win in court and win decisively, our children are going to have to deal with this. Okay. And I don't know about you. I'm not willing to give that up to them. and I'm not willing to. It's our opportunity to hold this line, and that's what that's what I'm advocating here. And I know it's the last thing. It's not sexy to give monies, and to fundraise lawsuits. We want to go buy ammunition. We want to go buy firearms. We want to go train. We want to go buy accessories. But fundamentally, if we do not shore up our position in the appeals court, all of that stuff is going to be worthless to us. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I can't stress that enough. So I will work on that with them and see what I can do. QR codes are great. I can totally make it easy for people. And yeah, 100% right here. And Dwayne, what I'll do right here is I can make QR codes that go directly to the link, so people just scan it with their phone. It pops up. They can donate right there. I can make it so easy. I have, and I'll talk to Tony about this. I don't want to speak out of turn because I'm getting the message out to you is, there's a number, we can do text to donate campaigns. There's all these different things that we could use that the other side uses, right? But we can use the tips and tactics and tricks that they use, but we can use them to our advantage. And that's what I would try to do. And I try to streamline this process, make it as easy as I can, and to make sure that money goes to where we need it. And just know that the money that goes to this fight is going to stay with this fight. It's not going out of the state. It's not going to Washington. It's not going across the country. It's going here to help make a difference here. And so what I'll try to do is make it as easy as I can so people can continue and feel like they're part of the process. I want the whole part of what I've done and what I've tried to do is to give you guys a voice and try to empower you, try to educate you, to help get you out off the sidelines to get involved with this fight. And, so I've done some things well, and there's things that I need to do better. But in this situation, I'm trying to make sure that you feel that obviously your money's going to be well spent, and it's going to be valued, and it's going to be used in a way that we need it to be used. Because I don't like doing these. I hate asking for money, and I fail, especially when it comes to what I'm doing. I fail every time because I hate asking. I just do it because I'm a man of action, and that's what I do. And I know there's many people in this group that are just like me, and so this is a way for us to have that action by making sure that we're spending the funds in a responsible way. So that's kind of where I'm at right here. Yeah. So funding is huge, and it just comes to is making sure that we're spending the money in a way that it's going to be well received, and it's going to be utilized effectively, responsibly. And so this is a conversation I will have to make sure everything's good, which I trust the people that are involved. So that's why I feel comfortable talking to you guys about it. But at the end of the day, I will make sure I'll do my due diligence to make sure, because I don't want to put my neck out there. I know them personally. I know what's going on behind the scenes because I've helped them throughout the process. And so I do have trust. And so that's why I'm here asking for your help. But I'm not asking, and we're not asking our group for millions of dollars. We're not asking for $1,000 to come out of your checking account. We're asking for 5 to 10, which we can build upon to get to that goal. So that's where I'm at. So I hope you guys are doing well. Any questions, comments, concerns? Thanks for tuning in. People I think are, yeah, thank you, Trend. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here with us. I really appreciate you. And so, Dwayne, thank you for being here as well. And I know it's not easy. The last thing we want to do is fundraise and do this stuff, but we have to look at what's happening in the federal court as well. And so, we have an appeal there that we're still need to fundraise for. So there's lots of opportunities to get involved and help out and make sure that, you're a part of this process, and it's going to feel so sweet once we get the victory that we need. And we just sit back and say, whew, that was close, because you think about this from November 8th of last year to December 8th, when this thing was supposed to go into effect, right? to where we're at today, we've had some really, really close calls. And sometimes I sit back and I just think about my journey, and what it's been like for the last year and a half for me. And I just like, wow, that was close. And so they're not going to stop. They don't like this loss. They feel that their cause is righteous, yet they don't understand the Oregon Constitution. Also, they don't understand our federal 2A. And so we have a lot of things to be thankful for in this situation. And most importantly is just we have the opportunity to continue to fight, and that's what we're going to do. And so I call on all my Oregon gun owners, help support this, get involved. No little donation is too little, you know what I mean? And just know that it's going to go to help fight this stuff. So other than that, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm going to get back to my work. I just had an amazing meeting, which I kind of shared for you. And yeah, okay. So we do have a QR code. Okay. So we have a QR code, which is great. I just got that from Anthony. What I'll try to do is put the information here. That way you guys can just take a screenshot and go from there. And what we can do. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a QR code. So what I can do is I'll make a little flyer or a graphic, and I'll put something together. And so that way we can put it on the counters of our gun shops when people are going in there to buy extra magazines or whatever. And so this would be a way for, the gun shops to get involved. Okay. And so absolutely. I will have everything for you, Jim. I really appreciate you. Let's challenge our Oregon gunners to get involved. Let's challenge our gun shops. Have a dedicated spot in the gun store where people can come in, they can scan it, they can get involved. Please, please, please. Okay. If you guys were not active in the fight, this is your opportunity to be active in the fight. And it doesn't come too soon. Okay. We're going to be waiting for the next situation, which is probably going to be the appeals court. I don't think it's going to bypass that from what I've heard. If that changes, I will let you know. It's just whatever we can do. So the FFLs that are in the group, if you guys are seeing this, if you guys can put up a flyer, if you guys can help, that would be great. And so, yeah, and maybe that's where the FFLs that do have flyers, that they can provide, they send me a photo with the flyer on their counter. Maybe we can publicize them in the group. I try really carefully to be careful, because I don't want to feel that I don't want people to take advantage of the network here, or the group. Um, and so I try to be respectful of that, but I see that if people are trying to be helpful in the situation, that we should go support those shops that are part of this. That's why, in the beginning, Coat of Arms in Salem, I was really, because he's one of the plaintiffs in the federal trial. And so, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll talk to Vicky. We'll get that up. And what we can do is help cross promote you and say, hey, here's a place for you to help. Go support that shop, and donate. You can buy some whatever you need there. And so maybe that's a way to help with this. You know, absolutely. These are all great ideas. These are all great ideas. And what I'll do is, I don't want to speak out of turn here. And so obviously I'm going to coordinate with Anthony and Tyler to make sure that everything we're doing is moving in a direction that I want it to go. I just have a lot of ideas, and I also have you guys, and you guys have some great ideas. And so power to the people, right? And that's what we're doing. So we don't have silver suits, we don't have, silver tongues. We got each other, and we have work ethics, and that's how we're going to stop this stuff. So it's kind of exciting. As much as it's kind of a pain in the butt, it is really exciting. So yes, that is great. So awesome. Whatever they want to do to help out, because this is where we lose, right? It's all on us, and it's our opportunity to not lose this situation. The way we don't lose this is we fund it, right? So that's what's important. Okay. Okay. I'm going to hold you to it. Okay. You're off work for 4 to 6 weeks. That's got to be amazing. So, yeah, I will put you to work. So awesome. So I'm going to get off here unless you guys have anything you guys want to talk about specifically. But, that's kind of where we're at. So I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So go out and get tacos and, and enjoy your day. Just know that we need you. So, oh, broken kneecap. Yeah, I kind of need my kneecap right now. I got a lot of stuff. I'm getting ready to put in 25,000 steps a day in a couple weeks. And so I need my kneecaps. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be walking lots. So, but that's kind of part of the deal. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to get off here. I got other stuff to do, but I'm going to make sure that I kind of cross all the T's and dot the I's here. So we know what we can do, where we can do it. And I'll be in touch. And so thank you guys for trusting us with the process. Thanks for being part of the process. And you guys have a great day. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.